So, hello guys. So, the other day I was with my friends and I saw that a lot of the times we as a men, we as we as growing young youth, we aren't that well developed, we aren't that masculine. We really worry about too much of things. We really worry about what the world is going to do and about all these consequences and all these kind of bullshit. But actually, that's just a sign of us not being that masculine, because we all think masculine is just like being this this hardcore, this hard kind of man, who just punches everyone. And no, it's not about the masculinity. It's not about that. Masculinity is about driving towards your purpose, driving towards your purpose, and being courageous and being right towards that. So that's the thing what masculinity is. And a lot of times, we look at all this social media and bullshit, and we realize, like, all these kind of what influencers portray, and all these influential things that we see on social media is just like unnecessary. A lot of times we look at it, people aren't portraying like what life is, because life is going to be very hard. The first point is you will do a lot of very wrong mistakes, and very heavy ones too. And accepting, see, everyone is going to do mistakes. Everyone is going to do a lot of heavy mistakes, in their career, in their family, in their relationships, in everything. People are going to be doing a huge amount of mistakes when you're trying to improve yourself. Like when just sitting down, you're a loser. When that kind of person, you'll obviously do a lot of mistakes. I'm talking about the kind of mistakes that you do when you're trying to improve yourself, when you're always like on this journey of improving yourself. At that point of time, you will definitely do a lot of mistakes. You will I believe, for at least a person like me, all these mistakes are because of being too passionate. And I am a person who's like an extreme, and I'm either a non-passionate about something, or I'm nothing about it. Or I'm too passionate about it, or I'm too extreme on it. And I believe, most successful people in the world are all extreme people. And yeah, a lot of these mistakes are going to be because you're going to be too passionate about stuff. And 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 yeah, if we all are portrayed, we are seen like, these kind of social media influence, telling, oh, I was in 2007 Diwali, I was like this, and then in 2026 I'm like this. It's no, they just show you the instant image, and they don't show you like what's the process, and what's the pain that you have to go through. And yeah, that's one of the big reasons why I tell you to avoid social media. Even I'm completely out of it. Even though I upload these videos, I'm completely out of social media, by the way. So that's one very important thing that you have to remember. You will do a lot of mistakes, and just take care of them. And you realize the most people in your life are very wrong. It's actually quite interesting to talk about this, because you know uh, this this comes into the case of our parents and our teachers. But then I believe this is much more important in the case of teachers, because like, just imagine a teacher. Even though parent is much more important of a job, but I believe, because we spend most of our time with our teachers, you sort of realize that, a teacher is the one who's probably going to be planting the seeds of the future generation. And just imagine how qualified should that person be. Like, just imagine you are the person who's gonna make the seed grow into a fucking forest. And and how qualified should you be? Like, you should be probably the topmost man in the fucking country. There's one story called the Mahabharat. And of course, you don't necessarily need to be a Hindu, or Islamic, or whatever. But 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 there's one teacher called Dronacharya, and this guy's like world class level athlete. This guy's world class level fit. This guy's like world class level archer and everything. And this guy teaches his younger generation. This the guy who teaches the younger generation. This is the guy who mentors the younger generation. And it's not like the weak little uh, peasant, who tried for the past 50 years for becoming a fucking archer, and then didn't become, and then finally, he started to teach people. because that's what modern teachers are. Because most of the modern fucking teachers, they basically get like a bachelor of education degree and a BSc fucking degree, and then you basically and then they start to act as if they are the teachers of the fucking world. No, you are not. You're fucking not. You don't deserve that fucking position. Instead of going to this school and all this education system, we are better off reading books written about people who have actually achieved whatever we want. Until unless you probably want to become an engineer or a doctor, maybe just go through the line of education system. But then if you don't want to be a fucking engineer, if you don't want to be a fucking nerd and a fucking doctor, don't go to the fucking bullshit education system, because it doesn't help you to be any masculine. It doesn't help you to be any more authentic version of yourself. It doesn't help you to be the best version of yourself. And that's one very important thing. And this is the reason why I added this point. This mostly talks about parents and teachers, but then I really feel this point is more suitable for like teachers. And the reason why we see like all these guys, like the modern world, being like so weak, is because of the fucking education system. We don't have a masculine teacher. We don't have a masculine role in our lives. We all think, oh, men and women are equal. No, of course men and women are not equal. No, they're playing like, oh, men should be much more kinder to women. Oh, men should be focused on like love. What the fuck? Like, you look at like movies and stuff. It's always the weak little brat, who becomes who gets the girl and everything. It's all about, you look at the Spider-Man movie. It's all about this weak guy, who was like nothing at the start, and then he suddenly got some superpower, and then he started to like get the girl. The girl started to like him. He started to suck his cock, and out of nowhere, just because he got a superpower. But no, that's not how life is going to work. And that's basically the feminine nature of you being trained by the fucking education and the fucking society. So yeah, and this is the reason why I added this fucking point. And you will have to, a lot of time, you have to fight through this version. You have to break this barrier bit of yourself to be much more of masculine, because you're going to do a lot of fucking mistakes. And it comes to the first fucking point. You are going to do a lot of mistakes. You're going to go through 500 to 3 like 3,000 women are going to reject you before you find the one beautiful, hot, sexy, the most like perfect version of woman that you can imagine. So you're going to be rejected. You're going to be rejected like thousands of times, bro. Because a lot of times, we look at movies and everything. We're like, okay, we just walk out of the house. We see the perfect woman, and then we just marry her out of nowhere. But no, that's not how it fucking works, bro. You have to like cold approach like thousands of women. You have to talk to like thousands of girls, trying, being cringe, being awkward, being whatever you want to be. And that's when you improve, and that's when you start to approve, get the girls. It's not like the one girl that you just go follow her like for the entire fucking like 3 4 years, and then you finally get it. No, that's not a fucking works, bro. You got to fail a lot. You got to work hard a lot on yourself. You will have to go through situations which are very tough, and then you will have to go through heavy arguments. You will be in a place of extreme shame and guilt, even though you never wanted to be that person. And a lot of people you lied will hate you. And this same point is just because of the world has trained itself to be much more feminine. We realize that the world doesn't support masculinity. The world overall doesn't help the masculine men thrive. It doesn't help the masculinity thrive in this country. A lot of the times, what thrives here is the feminine woman. The feminine version of hers thrives in the education system. But in reality, the guy who fucks a girl is masculine. The guy who fucks the girl that you and me want is masculine. The guy who achieves the level of success that he wants is masculine. And yeah, he doesn't care about like all this feminine bullshit. He's like this masculine motherfucker who probably puts an image of being feminine, but then he's actually a masculine guy who fucks a ton of women, and then who probably isn't at all feminine as what we see on the fucking internet. Like Elon Musk, like Elon Musk in itself is such a masculine guy. Like he is the kind of a man that who will thrive in the world, but the world and the education system trains us to be this feminine version of us, which is absolutely not right. And this is the one big reason why you're going to be, why a lot of people are going to hate you, because they don't like masculine guys. If you look at it, a lot of the time, but the masculinity is not like, being like egotistic, like, going and hitting every fucking guy. It's not about that. It's about believing in what you believe, and then striving towards your purpose, and like not really giving a fuck about the consequences of your actions. Because if you believe in your actions, you're not going to go fuck about its consequences. And that's what masculinity is. And if we're not trained for it, we are scared about, how we look, I'm scared about like how my face looks and all this kind of bullshit. But yeah, it's not like, that's not how. And of course, the last point is about ego. You will get a lot of ego, when you improve yourself, when you see you're a better version than most of your peers are. You will get a lot of ego. Just work on it. Just keep down your ego. This is a very important point. Keep down your ego. Whenever you have thoughts coming up in your mind, just make sure you're not egotistical. So yeah, that's one thing. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and do whatever you want. Thanks for watching.